Good morning, kayak rollers. Today we'll be reviewing footage from me, in the pool. This was from our last pool session on March 17th, and I was paddling a Petrel cut down. So that's the Turning Point Boatworks Petrel. It's a composite Petrel. I believe this one is a Negra, so it's basalt Negra, and it is a low volume. It's been cut down about an inch. We measured it here in the boat barn as inch cut down. So it is tighter than the standard Petrel, and I really enjoy the fit. I prefer a little more contact in the hips than the standard Petrel. The standard Petrel just in the lap area just was a little too roomy for me, and this low volume Petrel is just perfect. So you're going to see me rolling it for the first time. This is our demo boat, so it is available for demo paddle, and I hadn't rolled it and was not sure whether I was going to like the boat. I bought it, of course, as a demo, so it's not like a personal boat for me, but you're going to see my husband Rob standing behind me in the pool. I was that unsure about whether I could roll it. So we're going to start with some sculling. I'm going to slow motion it here. There you see my husband, and see somebody playing in the pool behind me, and I am sculling. Let's stop here. One of the things I like about this particular position is you can see several things going on here. The way my body is away from the boat, I don't think I've covered in any of the other videos how you need to get your body away from the boat, away from the boat in order to complete most rolls. So here's a really good illustration of how my body is away from the boat. My personal mantra when I was first rolling was slow down and stretch out. And it was specifically because I had a tendency to hang underneath the boat instead of getting away from the boat. So this is a really good illustration of that. And again, if we back up a bit here, the boat is nearly capsized. I let it come pretty much almost all the way down on top of me. But again, you can see my body is away from the boat. And my paddle, I'm working to keep my paddle as horizontal or flat on the water as I can. In recovery here, as I recover, you'll notice that I pull down. And I do that, that's my own personal roll, which I've heard described as a British screw roll. My husband and I call it the sweep to sea. So it starts as a sweep, ends in a C position with the blade going down. It's an extremely effective combat roll. I have to say thanks to our buddy for shooting this underwater footage. I know that it's a big pain in the neck for other people to record these things for me because they end up with a lot of footage that they have to run through trying to find the few valuable moments. And here's another good valuable moment. Again, you can see my blade. I'm doing my best to keep my blade as vertical as possible. And again, my body is away from the boat. And although I drift a little bit out of the scene, because of course my friend can't tell where their camera's actually recording, again, you see my blade goes down in that classic C position. here's a top view of the same thing. So here you can really see exactly the way it would look if you were looking at it from on the water. As you can see, my blade is going to go down. It's not 100% flat on the water. And part of that is because of the way I hold the blade. I tend to hold the blade in a choke position. Because of a neck injury years ago, my fingers don't have much strength, so I can't do a true palata or a true extended paddle roll. My hand will not grip with enough strength on the edge of the blade, so I have to roll or scull in this extended paddle position that I call the choke. And again, when I say choke, I'm talking about my hand on the throat of the blade. That's where the blade connects to the shaft. That's called the throat, just so you know. Here you can see, let's roll it backwards here a bit. Here you can see I've decided to let the boat completely close down on me. So this is giving you a really good view of a roll. Yeah, it's not a 360. Please don't split those hairs. A lot of times in surf or other times when I get capsized, I roll up on the side that I went down on. So a lot of the rolls that I practice in the pool are identical to the rolls that I practice in real life. So let's stop here. Change tools. And as you can see, like I was talking about before, my body is away from the boat and I go down with my blade into a C position. Let's see how that looks from this direction. Now, if I was going to ping myself on this roll, and I am, because here, I've got it, I don't like this arm position. One of the things about this particular pool season is I had so many people coming to me to learn to roll, so many people that I didn't roll enough myself. I am leaving the pool season behind with the feeling that I need about 100 rolls this spring to really have my roll well seated for my activity season. So, you know, bad on me. I let the pool sessions get flooded with students. Next year, we're going to limit it to 2 students per session. Sorry, folks, we just can't do that again. Both Rob and I felt like we really didn't get enough pool time for ourselves. And this, see my arm way across my body? That is a really good example of why I needed the pool time that I didn't get. Now we're going to hit the slow-mo. There's my recovery. You'll notice that I sit up as I've righted the boat. Let me slow it way down. So as soon as I feel that the boat is righted, I sit up. But I was in a bit of a layback position. So I would have called that still a screw roll. But because I was kind of laid back, it really turned into kind of a sloppy screw to layback. Definitely need to practice that. That's what pool time is for. So at this point, my husband says, you're going to come up. I don't need to stand here and spot you. And he heads off. Now I'm getting ready to do some rolls without a spotter. I've decided I really like this Petrel. I wouldn't necessarily recommend that everybody buy it in the cut down version because there are some things about it that make it less of an all-around boat. But for me personally, I really enjoyed the time I spent in the pool with it, brief as it was, and I also really enjoyed paddling it the one day that I got to take it out and paddle it. I was very, very pleased with the boat, I have to admit. Looks to me like I'm setting up here, and there I go. I come on in. I'm going to pause it here for a second. So what I did here was a roll where I go into the water. I enter the water with only one hand on the blade. And I do that because I am simulating being capsized for real. So I've fallen in the water. I've lost my grip on the one side of the shaft. And so this simulates me having to actually sort myself in surf. So this is a really good technique if you want to practice combat rolling. I would highly recommend doing this. So as you can see, I'm taking the time to find my shaft and orient my body. See, I'm orienting my body so my face is going up. And I begin my sweep. Let me back that up. So shaft is in line with the boat. I'm looking up and I'm beginning to push my body away from the boat. So I swept, and here you begin to see that I'm going to pull down to recover. So that's my sweep to sea or screw roll, whatever you want to call it. That was a successful roll, and actually it felt really, really good to me. I was very happy at that moment. You can see that I'm sculling. There's my little bit of a skull there. I'm going to slow-mo it. Let's go back. So I sculled down into the water, something that I do a lot. I just happen to like it. And oh, my roll just falls apart here. I can tell that I'm not going to come up. And I can tell I'm not going to come up because of this. Let's see if I can catch it here. Okay. Oh, there's so many things here. One, I never got my blade parallel with the boat. So instead of going parallel with the boat, I started here, which is away from the boat. Now my body is in a good position. I'm looking up and my body is away from the boat. But again, that. And then this, instead of going across the water, oops, wrong tool, clear that. Instead of going across the water in an arc, I'm going down from the start. We call that a diving blade. Diving blade, bad. As it continues to dive, I've lost a lot of my lift. So I don't have any lift. My body is curving up. I can guarantee you, although we can't see it, that I am lifting my head. Yeah. So here, let me play with this. You can see my head's going up. My head is going up. So my body is curving the wrong direction from the boat. So at this point, I know this roll is failing. I get a breath of water and I just flap back down into the water. And so here, I've let the boat fully capsize. I let it lay down on top of me. I'm gonna poke the button here, and so I take the time to set back up. Let's see what this setup looks like. mean, this looks better. See, I got the blade parallel, and my face is up, so that's good. I was so glad my friend shot this footage of me because it's so good to be able to diagnose your own problems. So here I am, diving blade again, and although my face is still facing up, I can almost guarantee that since the blade is diving that I'm going to lead with my head and try to put my head up out of the water right away. Yep, there you go. All right, so instead of sweeping along the top of the water and then pulling down, I just went down to Neptune. Here, I put the blade on the bottom of the pool. Don't do that. Don't put the blade on the bottom of the pool. I mean, I can do that, but do as I say, not as I do, because that's how a lot of shafts get broken and blades get chipped. So I would highly recommend not doing that yourself. So now I've said, okay, I'm clearly out of position. I'm gonna swim. People often ask me, what do you do with the blade while you are wet exiting? But I usually hold it in my hand. Or if it's really turbulent, I tuck it under my arm, like literally like right there, so the blade is parallel. And then I reach forward with the other hand and pop my skirt. Here's the key. I make sure I've got a skirt on that I can get off with one hand. I typically do not surf in skirts that take full force, 100% effort to get off, because I have had way too many sandbars bouncing on my head, rocks on my head, and I don't want to struggle to get out of my deck. I just want a good push and I'm out. Let's go back because there's something that I often do in surf. So I almost always come out of the boat but leave one foot in the boat, both in surf and in the river, until I get my head up and see what I'm looking at. Sometimes that gives me a chance to keep the boat from floating away. And sometimes I immediately say, oh my God, get away from me. And I'm in a prime position to use my other foot to shove the boat away from me because I don't want to be injured by the boat if it's going to run over me. And there you go. So I made a couple little art pieces from snapshots of the footage, because the colors are incredible. I really liked the way that looks. I might even print that. I'm such a dork.
What are you doing?
So let me just say this. When you listen to my videos, a lot of times you hear some strange background noise.
Oh
and
my goodness, what
I
are
just
you
wanted
doing?
you to know it's
Oh my
these
goodness.
two reprobates. That's Diana.
Oh.
And the German shedder
Oh my goodness.
is Xena. On Instagram, #DailyXena. You may see some videos of my goofballs, but that's what that noise is in the background of almost every single video that I narrate. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Please like, subscribe, and comment. It helps. It really does. Life is good, man. Paddle on.